This week, Ontario reached a grim COVID milestone, surpassing more than 10,000 deaths. 67-year-old Rob Chorley passed away from COVID in March, and his family is speaking up about the importance of a COVID memorial for the victims as a way to honor them. Rob's wife of 46 years, Anne-Marie, and his daughter Marlene are joining us this morning. Welcome to your morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Great to see you both. You know, we're very sorry for your loss, and it's stories like yours that are the face of those numbers that we report on. I'd love to know, first of all, what was Rob like?
Well, you can't just put it in one word or one sentence. He was all about love, family. Hopefully I don't cry.
Laughter, for sure.
Laughter
was a big one for my dad.
Tradition.
Yeah.
You know, and I can tell you that Rob didn't have a bucket list. He lived his bucket list every day. I had one, but he didn't.
Oh, wow. Anne-Marie, how would, first of all, a monument or a memorial help with your family's healing process?
Well, for one thing, he's no longer a statistic, although every day we live his death over and over because we're constantly being inundated with the news about COVID. And just hearing his name, seeing his name on a monument, and for thousands of others who have lost a family member and are just referred to as a number is very important to our family. He was a being, and he was a very special person to our family and friends and loved ones everywhere. And we realized that in death. We had over 300 people reach out to us that couldn't come to his funeral.
Yeah, I know. I can certainly speak for myself that, and I'm sure there's thousands of others with COVID. Prolonged grief disorder is a really big thing and a very real thing with COVID. And the monument, I think, for myself, would give us something to allow us to start that healing, not only ourselves, but the country, and for the thousands of others who have lost loved ones.
You know, to both of you, you bring up a really important point, which is that we report about it, we read it in the news, we read the statistics and the numbers, but to have that reminder every day of the numbers behind somebody that you lost and that you love would be very painful. Anne-Marie, you guys were married for 46 years. Can you give us some insight into what the grieving process was like for you and your family? Because as a background, Rob didn't go into hospital for a COVID-related illness. He went in for something else.
Yes, he did. Well, Rob had a benign tumor, and it was a very successful surgery that he was only in for a couple of days, and he got home, and we had him home for a week, and it was great. We were planning our next trip and talking about what we were going to do next. When we got the phone call, I guess about 7 days later, not even 7 days later, to say that he had been exposed at the hospital on the last day that he was discharged. It was very difficult for us to accept that, and Rob was really experiencing a few symptoms, and from there he just went downhill. So we had to go to the hospital, and for us, we were grieving him going into the hospital again because we thought, this is it, you know, we were finished with these surgeries and he's going to have a great life and we'll move on. He's such a fighter. He's a guy who went into the hospital one time for a simple hernia surgery and wrote "Go Leafs Go" on his belly for the surgeon to read. I mean, he was just an incredible person.
These are beautiful photographs that you've shared with us today. You know, he had planned his funeral. He wanted two songs played, "Stand By Me" and "You'll Never Walk Alone." What was that process like? How did COVID intercept those plans for you guys?
Well, Marlene?
We were unable to sing them or play them. I mean, we're planning right now a celebration of life for next year, and we hope to be playing those loud and have everything going, everybody enjoying those songs at the celebration of life. But all we could do at the service was we had a small little gathering in the church, and we were able to speak some of the words, the lyrics from the song to try to honor what he wanted, but unfortunately we weren't able to give him fully what he asked for.
His grandchildren were able to speak in the church, so that was nice. We have 8 grandchildren.
Yeah.
I understand that he was at the hospital for the births of each and every one of them. We can see in these photos just how close you are as a family, and to not be able to be there with him in the way that we'd want to in his final days is truly heartbreaking. You've given this a lot of thought. Marlene, what would a memorial look like?
For me, I mean, I would love a memorial, something that would reflect those final moments that were stolen from us as a family. His name written there. I want everybody to know who my dad was. My dad wasn't number 9 who died that day. He was a person who had an amazing life, an amazing family, and, you know, things are never going to be the same without him. So I want his name written for all to see, to know who he was.
What we really want is for everybody to get vaccinated. That's probably the most selfless thing that you can do, because it's not just about you. It's about all the people, the family you love, and your friends, and everyone around you that lives in this big, wide, beautiful world.
I want to thank you both, Anne-Marie and Marlene, for coming on and sharing stories about your husband, your father. I'm so sorry for your loss, and I'm glad that you were behind this push for a memorial, because it's the faces and the stories and the hearts behind all of those numbers that we report on that are the most important. Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.